How are we all doing? Back again as per usual. Can't keep away. Sloppy seconds you've got tonight, as Chris would say. And yeah, it's good to be back. We recently hit 400 subscribers earlier on today. So I just want to say, first and foremost, a massive thank you to everybody who has shown their love and support to the channel. So it really does mean a lot. And, you know, as the saying to Chris's favourite show is, you know, Tower, the only way is Essex. I'm sure you'll have heard of it. The only way is up. So fingers crossed we get to that 500 mark. That's the road now. However, if you're new around here, as you can see just above my big fat head, we are live on Facebook and Instagram. Not Instagram, YouTube and on Twitter. But our socials are all there for you to see. And we are on podcast platforms as well. However, the prediction show, I'm toying with the idea. Do I stick it on the podcast platforms, or do I just leave it off and you can stare at me and the guests' beautiful faces as always? However, prior to the predictions, I just have one more thing to say. Burnley are finally getting themselves together, and it looks like, and I will come to Chris on this. He could back me up. There is previous historical evidence. Leicester managed a great escape. The season after, what did they achieve? They won the Premier League. Yes, they did. Who's to say we can't do it? Who's to say we can't do it? Look at them claret and blue ribbons. Look at that. And that's not because West Ham have been anywhere near. Look at that right there. One day we will prevail. However, I know Chris, it's going to be one of the first things Chris says. I can see his lips itching to shout it. So without further ado, let's bring in the man, the myth, the leg end, Christopher Forian.
We asked 100 people how many of them thought that Burnley could ever win the Premier League, and the answer was
oh, I knew that were coming. How have you been, Chris?
Yeah, I've had better days, I'm not going to lie, but there we go.
It is.
Hey, seeing your face makes me realise things ain't that bad.
see, I'm like an Asda employee. I'm happy to help. First and foremost, Chris, where can people find your stuff?
Apart from on here with you, you can find me Instagram Leicester Till I Die 1. Facebook, Leicester Till I Die, Twitter @Leicester TID, and if you are on YouTube, Leicester Till I Die TV, please give us a subscribe. And
happy days.
Be sure to support Dan as well. We need to get him to the 500 because he said he'd run naked around Turf Moor if he got 500 subs.
Chris was hoping that I just said 5, but when I added the 2 zeros, he's like, oh shit, I've got to wait. Might be dead by then.
If you're not, that would kill me off, if I'm be honest with you. I suddenly had a vision. Do you remember Queen when they did that song, Bicycle Race?
Oh, yes.
and the pull-out sleeve of the LP. Wow.
Oh, tremendous. And speaking of tremendous, we have got a man who likes his scrumpy. He loves his cider, but he also loves Arsenal, the weird fucker. So let's bring him in. We are at Southampton. Here he is. We have Anthony Herbert. How you doing?
Not too bad, Danny. You, mate?
Can't smile wide enough, mate. Can't smile wide enough. Especially now you took that shit jacket off.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. The other thing is, well, bloody yeah, when I was backstage, I was absolutely pissing myself laughing. When you just come up and said that about Burnley winning the Premier League.
It's almost up there with like believing Arsenal ever had an unbeaten season, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. I still strive on that season. You know, I mean, obviously, I don't think nobody else would do it. Nobody else will repeat that again. So you know,
it is what it is.
It is.
As always, thank you very much for coming on and showing your support. It's nice to have you back on as well. Recently,
your support away. We don't want to see it.
All three of us were together on Chris's channel recently for the boxing watch along. But as always, I thought, you know what, I'm pinching Anthony for the Premier League prediction, so why not? Anthony, let people know where they can find you and what stuff you do on the old Tinterweb.
Right, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. That's it, my name, Anthony Herbert. You can also find me on other streams, which includes SVT TV, Football United TV, also Dugout Daily. You can find me. I was a Leicester till I die virgin, but I'm not anymore. So that's another
glad I've
thing.
taken it,
Another
Anthony.
stream you
Glad
can
I've
find me
taken
on.
it.
And now you can most probably find me on this stream here, Dan's stream. Tough more. He's doing a good job, and well done, Dan, for reaching. Is it 400 subscribers? You said
4, just 4. No, man.
yeah.
Mum, my dad, the dog, and the cat.
That's
400. Yeah.
400. That's a start. So let's try and get Dan up to. Let's try and get him up to 500. We're
More than turned up at Turf Moor most
steps.
Saturdays.
I'll give you that one, Chris. I'll let you have that one. Cheap dig, but I'll let you have it. Couple of comments. Anthony says, up the Clarets. Anthony, Big Dave, DJ Dave, David Anthony, whatever you want to call him, goes by everything but other expletives. And to be honest, thank you for coming in earlier on the match preview. So I do appreciate it. Rene's in the chat as well. Hope you're well, mate. Hey, Dan, Chris, and guest. How the devil are you? Oh, that's it. You're going to have to trademark this, Chris. You're going to have to trademark it.
Rene, just go on to the website, www.leicestertillidie.com/shop, and you can have a T-shirt or a sweatshirt or a polo shirt or a hoodie that says "How the devil are you" on it.
See that? Look at that. A nice, selfless, shameless plug.
That's the reason I come on.
Ryan's in. Ryan's a Huddersfield fan. I hope you get promoted as well. I hope Huddersfield go up.
Is that Ryan's new channel?
Yes, it's Ryan's new channel. Ryan has got a new channel. He does also do Proud Terriers, but Ryan's got his own channel now called Ryan Mather TV. So please do go show him some support.
Good luck with it, mate.
As well. Spencer's in and says, evening, guys. Hope you're well, Spencer. Gordon is in as well. Big G's in. No nay, never. Keep the faith. That's what we want to see.
That's the Leicester thing, that keep the faith.
That's right.
He's a secret Leicester fan. Can't blame him.
Wouldn't surprise me. And he says, okay, thanks, Chris. So there you go. You've got your first sale.
Well, you wouldn't bloody buy any of it, would you?
No. I've seen the quality. Nah.
Keep your dad in the custom, manner in which he's accustomed.
It's the smuggling stuff throughout.
Sorry?
I thought Fruit of the Loom was good make.
Yeah, hey, top quality. Look, top quality. Hung up there on display.
It's looking very nice, Chris. Looking very nice. I always liked your background. I've always commented on your background. Do you remember that?
You have, and it always worried me. But
no, I always.
You know why we all comment on your background, Chris? It's so you turn around and admire it. As your heads turn roll like that.
Was that like them Burnley fans at that time that went to watch the match and all turned their back on the game?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
pretty much. It's that old school thing, isn't it? You were back at bus at school and you'd wave at the car, and if they don't wave, it's a quick switch of the hand.
Probably you do it in Burnley, but not anywhere else.
Oh, we do that first and then wave.
Yeah.
With that backwards.
Or if you know someone and you're banging on the window to them and they give back to you, they wave, and you wave, but you don't wave to them, you wave to somebody else over on the other side. You're like, yeah, all right. Yeah.
Ryan says, thank you for the kind comments. Praying we get promoted. We're all praying for it as well. Huddersfield are a nice run club, and fingers crossed you can get that promotion. As I say, both legends above. The links to I think I've got Anthony's Twitter handle in the description, and I've got Chris's YouTube channel in the description as well. So please do go show them some support, and show them some love. They both deserve it. We need love,
don't we, Anthony?
Yeah, we do.
All you
Definitely
need
do.
is love.
All you need is love, love.
Love
Love
is
is all
all
you
you need.
need. Da, da,
What have
da.
I started? Hang on.
Keep
Join in, Chris,
keep the faith,
anytime.
Chris. Keep the faith.
Yeah.
You get that off, finger crossed off me.
On a prediction note, I've wrote mine down already. Hopefully, we'll have some variety tonight. Yeah.
I've done
Just
mine
going
as
off.
well, Kate.
Just going off the predictions. I'm still in last place with 50. Then it's the guests with 55. So they're only 3 behind Chris and Kate, who are currently tied with 58. So
I
it's
thought Kate had gone over me.
no, she prefers being under you, Chris, clearly.
Hit him,
However,
Kate. Hit him.
she's just informed me she prefers not being near you.
It's a good job he's gone past Watershed, isn't it? Oh,
Well,
bloody-
this
What's
show,
a watershed? What's
yes.
a watershed?
The watershed to Dan is when he pisses in the corner.
Hey.
Hey.
Gordon says, who are Leicester? Staunch long side. That's what we want to hear. You know, that got the ink on my fingers. Yes, you have. Yes, you have. And Renee's asking Kate how she is. So, without further ado, let's get into the fixtures. Let's get into this Premier League stuff. There's not many weeks of it left now. Not many weeks of it left now. And to be honest with you, next week we may not have a prediction show. We may have, we may not. It's all in the pipeline. But we will see. We will see. However, it is match week 35. And there's 10 fixtures to get through. So without further ado, let's get into the first one. And it is Newcastle versus Liverpool. Newcastle not really have anything to play for. Liverpool still fighting for the quadruple, which is still on. Anthony, I'll come to you first because I'm sure you've got a top of either club. Who are you going for?
Do you know what? I think this game is going to be a good game. It's going to have goals in it, definitely. I think Newcastle are playing really well, and so are Liverpool. But out of the two, I'd have to favour Liverpool for the win here, Dan. So my score prediction on this one would most probably be, I would say 2-0 Liverpool.
2-0 Liverpool. Nice and easy. Chris, as you say, Liverpool, they've got to go to St James's Park and get something.
They have. You're quite right. Because it says it there, Newcastle versus Liverpool. Were you just explaining that for Nippon?
Yeah, just a bit.
Oh, God.
I mean, we played Newcastle, and they did one on us recently. I like Newcastle. I love the fact that I'm pleased for them that they've got the money at last. They've got decent owners, and hopefully they can go on and smash. No disrespect, Anthony, the so-called Big Six, and jump on their party. That said, they have been playing well under Eddie Howe. He's got them to safety. This is I can't see anybody beating Liverpool at the moment. They're just playing so well. And I was just looking at that on my screen, and beat Everton, beat Man United, beat Man City. Drew in Man City, sorry, beat Watford, beat Arsenal. As I was, they're like the Black Knight. If you chopped a leg off, they still score a goal. They're relentless. And when we played Everton the other week, Everton in that first half, they did a Jose special. They parked the bus and they were playing 10-0. And, they had to be patient, Liverpool, but they got the win. And, yeah, sorry, Newcastle, but on this one, I am going for a Liverpool win.
No, fair enough. Gordon's going with splinters up his arse. He's going for a draw. So, fair shout. Fair shout. It's all about opinions, as we say. You know what? I side with everybody else. I think we've got a full house for Liverpool. I think, as you say, Liverpool have got to get something from this game, and they've got to keep the pressure on Manchester City, who later on we will speak about, who have to go to Ellen Road in a tough fixture. So we will touch on that a little bit later. Renee says, I do YouTube, but no one subscribe. I do FIFA content. Go and check out Renee's channel. Everybody, go check him out. Go check out the FIFA content. And
I didn't know you did one, Renee. You kept it quiet.
Just walk away, Renee. Because when you feel like you can't go on, because all of your hope is gone. But darling, reach out.
I feel like that.
Reach out.
15 minutes into
Come
this
on,
show.
girl. Reach out for me. Reach out for me.
I'll be there.
Be there. Tune in, Chris. When the love that comes for you.
Oh, there he is, stone-faced Chris. That's the theme when he walks into a room. Is that Imperial?
Yeah.
Hang on, sorry, I didn't know we're done this long. All right.
It's all right, Chris. If we talk over it, we might not get cut off. We might not get any
I didn't know how long that went on for.
Well, I do like that FIFA content, though.
Sorry?
I do like that FIFA content, though. I love it when a certain player, a certain individual, when they pick their team, and they're always losing to Arsenal. I'm not saying no names, but, that's the games I do enjoy.
I can't stand it, but there we go.
Don't know what you mean, mate. Don't know what you mean. Niall's in. He says, hello to everyone. Hope you're well, Niall. Thank you for tuning in. Kit says, this is what water does to him. Imagine what he gets that with a volume. Yeah, that is true. That is true. Gordon says, House of Pain, jump around, jump up, get down. Oh.
Get down. Jump.
It's hard when you've got headphones in and you're walking past the motorway bridge, though. Just think about who's around.
Yeah.
Jack's in as well. He says, come on, Burnley. That's what we like to see as well. Getting this Burnley loving tonight. Love it. So, yeah, everybody, straight up Liverpool win on this video, on this prediction. On to the next one. Anthony, back to you again. Villa, another team that have been poor. However, Norwich are still fighting to get out of it. When Burnley give them the 3 points, that it give them a bit of belief that potentially they could get out of it. But I know what Chris is thinking. Stop talking sharp. They're gone. However, Villa should be looking over the shoulder with one eye open, thinking, shit, we can get dragged into this.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I mean, obviously, you just got to look at the league table for that. But to be honest with you, I think Norwich is they're gone. Let's be honest, they are gone. Villa, I don't think they'll go down. I think they got enough there to survive. Obviously they got a good manager there in Steven Gerrard. It says that. I think, to be honest with you, I'll have to go for an Aston Villa win on this one, Dan.
No, fair play. Yes, I have heard. I'm guessing you mean Happy Mondays, but yes, I have. And then Renee says 1-1 draw. Kate's gone for Villa as well. Chris, how do you see it? Your affiliation for Norwich, come on.
I love Norwich. I don't know what you mean. I mean, yeah.
When
Villa
you say you love Norwich, you mean you love Norwich radio. All right, Chris.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, Villa are safe. They're not going to go down. Does make me laugh that they've replaced the manager, spent a fortune, got players in, and they're no better off than they were when they sacked the previous manager. They had a bit of a run, but then they had a bit of where they just couldn't win for a hide or hair. Norwich have had a couple of good games recently, and I've gone for a draw on this one.
A draw. Interesting. Very interesting.
Norwich, they're still 19th in the form table, but Aston Villa are only 18th in the form table. So it's I think it's going to be a close one, and I wouldn't be disappointed if Norwich didn't get a win. To be honest with you, as I say, I've got nothing against the club. I've got nothing against Watford as a club. It's just the way they run, and I think the fans deserve better.
No, they do. They do. Looking there, Norwich have been poor, apart from obviously the game against us where they just, I think if anything, we made them look better because I think after we'd beaten Everton, we pretty much already thought that the Norwich result was in the bag and didn't play to the best of our capabilities. And probably that's why we got turned over. However, Darth went after that. However, Norwich has, they stuck two past us. They stuck two past Man United. It was only because Ronaldo being informed that, Man United put three past them. Newcastle were a game where really they'd have probably hoped for a bit better back at Carrow Road. I'm going to go for. I'm going to go for. I'm going to go for Villa. I think Villa will win this, but they'll only just nick it. Only just nick it. Renee says same as Chris. Renee says same as Chris, and Gordon says this foot sounds pissed. Well, maybe it is Friday after all. Long live the Benkies. Well said, mate. Well said. Long live the Benkies indeed. David says that I would like to give Norwich a shot, but I just look at their team and I just can't find the quality. I'm not sold on Pookie, and so whilst Villa has been poor, I still think they will bear Norwich. So, yeah, as I say, I think that they'll just nick it. I don't think it'll be concrete. I think it'll be a very close fixture. I think Villa do have enough in the locker to see this game out.
If they played against Norwich like they played against us last weekend, Norwich will actually beat them. Villa were awful. So were Leicester. I know, I'm saying it was the most boring game I've seen for probably about 20 years. So Villa have got to play better than that.
Yeah, you'd have thought so.
Yeah,
you'd think so. Moving on to the next one then, Anthony, back to you. And it's your favourite team. Get that jacket back on. To be honest, mate, I can help you. My mum works at the Turf and she got me Ralph Hasenhüttl's hat after we played Southampton on the first game of the season, the second game at Turf Moor of the season. So I've got Ralph's hat that says Saints across the front. So if you want, I can complete the outfit for you by sending it.
Yeah, that'd be signed.
Or when the missus is due for an upgrade, you can put it on top at casket and just say, in loving memory with a nice hat on top.
Definitely. Blimey.
How do you think this one's going to go? As you say, it's Crystal Palace have been hit and miss, but then yet again, so have Southampton.
Well, they both have been, but in all fairness, going back the last few weeks, Dan, they've both beaten Arsenal. We lost 3-0 to Crystal Palace. That was back on the 4th. And then then 2 weeks ago, we lost 1-0 to Southampton. So, they've both played really well. But in my way of thinking, because obviously they've both beat Arsenal, I think this game, technically, has got a draw written all over this game.
No, that's quite interesting. I was sort of along those lines myself. Chris, Southampton, not far away from yourself. I must say as well, Gordon says that Mrs. Riley, your dear love, is a diamond, which you obviously know, Chris.
I do. She sparkles always for me.
So does the kitchen sink. However, yeah, she is. She's top notch. She's. I'll pass on the good words if she's not in watching anyway. But yeah, how do you see this one, Chris?
Riley, just in case she is.
Mums is in. Big up.
These two teams are an enigma, to be honest with you. If Southampton hadn't had the good run that they had at the start, and I thought, yep, they might actually be going for a European challenge this season, and they've not. I mean, they've just sort of the wheels have come off the wagon as they always do. And if they hadn't had that start, they would have been, I honestly think, in the relegation fight. Palace, they're like I say this all the time, but they're all like the proverbial wars knickers. They're up and down, like nobody's business. You don't know whether they're going to win or lose. For me, I've got to agree totally with Anthony and yourself here. This is for me, it's got a draw written all over it. Which probably means it'll be a Palace win, but I've gone for the draw.
So Anthony for the draw, Chris for the draw, Kate's gone for a draw as well. Wow. And Gordon says, "I'll do it, mate." He's a lane header at Ark. You know what? I'm going to be different, which is probably why I'm bottom of the pecking order in this.
We know you're different. We know that, mate. Tell us something we don't know.
We don't need medical evidence. You know what? I'm going to say Southampton nick this.
Yeah, this is why you're bottom of the league, isn't it?
No, I think other way around. Be at Selhurst Park, I think Palace would be a bit more dangerous. Or I watched them against Leeds the other night, and they apart from Wilfred Zaha literally throwing his arse on the floor every 2 minutes, Palace didn't really offer anything going forward. And this is a Leeds team that's in, a bit dire straits at the back. You'd have thought they'd have been able to utilise that with the pace of Zaha and their forwards coming through like Elise and stuff like that. I just think Southampton may get something being back at St Mary's. So, yeah, for that reason, I'm going to say, again, similar to the Villa game, I think it's going to be close. I can't see it being a high-scoring fixture. I can see them both cancelling each other out for a long period of the game and somebody nicking it. So, yeah, for me, Southampton. Although Rene says Patrick versus Ralph, and Gordon says that he'd take a draw. Everybody going for a draw, apart from me, which, as I say, speaks volumes. Moving on to the next one then. And yes, this is a tough one. I fear this game for some reason, Anthony, going into it. I really, really do. They've only won 2 games at home all season, and yet they welcome Burnley to Vicarage Road. It just screams, go and take your third win.
Yeah, trouble is with Watford. I mean, they've got that player that they rely on. I believe his name's Dennis in it up front. That gets
Dennis
the goals.
Menace.
Yes, he is. Yeah, and it reminds you of that Norwich City striker as well. Is it Pookie? That's up front.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously, without those key players, I mean, there ain't really much strength for somebody in the team getting them goals basically. So I think I think Watford's I think they'll play well. I think they're capable of getting a goal. But the way Burnley's been playing ever since they've got rid of Deitch, I think Burnley in most part. I do favour Burnley in this one for the win, and it's like ever since Burnley has sacked Deitch, the players or anyone from they haven't really wished him well, haven't they? Like all the best sort of thing, So
no,
it makes you think that was the players like Deitch, and did they respect him enough, sort of thing? I mean, don't get me wrong. I know that they were down towards the bottom all the time, Burnley, but Deitch always made them survive. It was like the last few games of the season they were picking up points and they'd avoid the relegation zone. So, but this time I think without Deitch there, they could possibly do it, Burnley.
I hope so.
I think to myself, I think this is definitely going to be a Burnley win on this one, Dan. All right,
no,
I'm only saying it because I'm on your stream now.
I've never stuck to that rule.
You're thinking, I'm here to help him out. That's enough of a compliment.
Yeah.
Burnley can get battered. Big John's in. Evening,
Hi, John.
everyone. Hope you're well, John. And David says 2-0 Burnley for him too. Burnley fighting with team spirit, so I feel they'll be too resolute here. We're totally with you, Dan, on this one. Yeah, I hope we can get something. I really, really do. And Unbiased TV with CEO. Come on, you Gunners, is it?
Yes.
No, you would say that. Gordon says, how do I subscribe? Overdone, or I've done every ground in the country, bought badges and spent loads of money. It'd be nice to buy t-shirts off here. Torman talks wisdom. Yeah, just go to YouTube. Just go to YouTube. Click the subscribe button. It's literally under the video, as I say, as it says there at the top, Turf Morehouse. Just search that. We'll come up and yeah, drop a sub. Really does help, mate. So really do appreciate it. Ryan says 2-0 Burnley as well. John's fan, according to Rennie asking how he is, and Unbiased TV say Arsenal are going to beat West Ham. We will be talking about that briefly in a moment. We will crack on with that. But Chris, Watford, they're as I say, they are in the mire. They are in the mire. There's every stat going for them. Roy Hodgson's never been sacked as a manager. There's only won 2 games at home all season. But yeah, can you see that sticking?
I can't say this any better than, and I did play it earlier before we came live, I think, but Mark Goldridge, the guy that does the Man United thing, to me, he sums it up with this.
Burnley are a team I'd love to see get relegated. I'm sorry if there are any Burnley fans. Don't worry, there's not many. Oh, shit! They bloody scored!
And you'll score tomorrow and you'll win tomorrow. Watford and you're not safe yet. Let's be honest with you. Burnley are not safe yet. You're going to want us to do a favour for you next weekend when we play Everton again. But you've got to win this. I know I've said this before, but if you don't win this, you probably don't deserve to stay up. You've got it all going for you. And, you know, you've said it, and I heard one of the pundits on Talk Sport say it, the use of this word freedom. The players are playing with the freedom now. Now, you know, you can't say that Dyche is a bad manager, but sometimes a manager can get stale at a club. I mean, you know, look at Wenger. What he achieved for Arsenal was absolutely amazing. But maybe he stayed a bit too long. Maybe just overstayed his welcome a bit towards the end. And it could be the same with Dyche. You know, everything he's done for you, sometimes you just need a different outlook.
Yeah, you do.
You know, life. And, you know, the guys come in, and I feared for you because it's your under-23 coach or something, and you captain, and I thought, what have you done? But you know, the guy said on Talk Sport, Alan Pace. It is Alan Pace, isn't it?
The chairman. Yeah,
it said, Alan Pace is either the biggest idiot going for sacking a manager with 8-9 games to go, or he is the most inspirational owner of a football club there has ever been, because he's seen it and seen what happens. You know, you drew 1, you've won 2. You've got it all going for you. Yeah, I'm sure you'd prefer it to be at Burnley, but this is Watford, for God's sake. I mean, you know, Burnley, right, in the form table, and when I say the form table, I'm looking at the last 6 games. Burnley are 8th in the form table. I mean, what would you give to that be the real table? You know, well, Watford are 20th in the form table. You know, you're above Arsenal in the form table, mind you. Then again, so are we. That doesn't really count for much, does it?
Why don't you rub it in? God, for Christ's sake.
This is a win for
you. He don't even support Arsenal anymore.
No, sorry, Southampton. I forgot. Southampton and Bristol. No, this is a win for you all day long, Dan.
No, I'll take that. I will take
But
that.
do you know what, Dan? If it goes right to the let's see if it goes right to the last game of the season.
I hope not.
Yeah. But if it does, who have you got? Who's Burnley got last game of the season?
We've got Newcastle, but yet the Newcastle fan base have all said if they've got nothing to play for, they would rather have Jimmy Nail and Anton Deck in midfield and send Everton down.
Well, Everton. We've got Everton last game of the season, so we can send them down. Arsenal.
See, that's where I'm hoping something different, because I'm hoping that you're still trying to fight out for that top 4 spot, meaning that you've still got something to play for. That way, no matter what happens, you need to send Everton down. However, we've got Spurs. We've got Spurs coming up in 3, including tomorrow's game, 4 games time.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah, because we've got Watford. Is it Watford, Villa? No, it might be 3. Watford, Villa, Spurs.
Yeah.
And then Villa again. And then Newcastle. So it's going to be interesting. It is going to be an interesting end to the season.
It is, yeah.
As you said, Chris, Mark Jackson has come in. This is a guy who's only had a job as a manager of Tranmere Rovers, and sort of it didn't work out for him there. He's not really changed much in terms of Burnley. The ethos is still there. It's still very much a Sean Dyche team, but there have been the strings have been unattached. The shackles have been released from their feet. They can move. They can play. There's one-touch passing. We're starting to get on the front foot, create attacking opportunities. The amount of people that have come out and said, you know what? Since Dyche has pissed off from Burnley Football Club, they want Burnley to stay up. And it sort of, I can't sit here as a Burnley fan and say, you know what, would Dyche have kept us up? Would we have got 7 points in the last 3 if we still had Dyche? I can't sit here and say that we would. So
you never know, will you?
No. But I just think that at the moment there's a feel-good factor around the place. We need to keep that up. We'll win this prior to the Leeds Man City game, which we're going to touch on. We will then go level on points with Leeds in 16th. However, we'll be sat in 16th. They'll drop due to us having a superior goal difference. And hopefully that'll worsen as well when Man City dick 'em. But we'll see what happens. It's getting interesting at both ends of the table. Rennie says we play Southampton last game. And as John says, Southampton wonderbagged the last games.
You've got Villa, Tottenham, Aston Villa, and Newcastle. That's your running. Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. I've got to go for Burnley for this one. Kate.
No shit, Sherlock.
Kate. I'm going for Burnley on this one. Okay. How many times did I shout a name then, Chris?
I wasn't listening. Don't get me involved.
Neither was she.
3 or 4.
Swap her for an Alexa. They always answer you.
Every time I say, "Oh, do you mind like putting the predictions in and stuff?" And she's like, "Yeah, I will do." Then next minute she's there with Buck and we talk about them, and then all of a sudden, and that's it.
It's an age thing, isn't it? You got to.
It must be. It must be. David says, "Do you think that the new manager has not fed into together narrative that Burnley are defensive and boring and can't play good football, and looked at talent to the team and just let them off the leash?" I don't know. Rumour has it that there was player promises that wasn't kept. There was player revolt. People saying that it's gone stale, it's boring. I'm not here to have a career of just playing head tennis. So, it's all hearsay at the moment. But you know what? The best thing we've done is And I will say, as Chris alluded to, Alan Pace has got giant bollocks for doing what he's done, because he gave the guy a 4-year contract with, when we're rock bottom of the league. And then all of a sudden we were 4 points away from safety at the time, and he gives him the sack. And I don't mean the one where his giant bollocks sit. So to be honest with you, he's made a very, very, very bold move. But I think you can see it with every game. The way he grips his wife's hand tight, it's almost like he's probably getting revenge for all the time she gripped his during she giving birth 4 times to his kids. Because he must be having kittens with these last games, thinking, please tell me I've made the right decision. Please tell me I've made the right decision. But yeah, as Kate says, she was up at 5:30 with the kids. And Chris, I will not put that on screen, but yes, I know what you mean.
I dare you. I dare you.
No.
I just think
next season.
It's nice, we all have pet names for our privates, and Kate's for yours is obviously her little ones.
But I don't need to put it on now. You've already bloody said it.
Exactly. Well, you weren't going to put it on, so I thought I'd better.
What manager do you see Burnley getting next season, Dan?
There's very strong links with Vincent Kompany at the moment. That's come out today that he was the man that Alan Pace flew out to speak to. It'd be interesting, but however, I'd probably, if you're going to pick anybody that's not proven and a former player, I'd go for someone like Rooney instead of Kompany, because I just think at least Rooney's been in the English game. Yeah, the fact that he's managed to, with Derby,
Steve,
as much as they went down, he's got enough about him to get them up, to probably get them back up again.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We will see.
Steve Bruce.
Rather shit in my hands and clap, Chris.
You've done that many a time.
Oh, I have.
There is one more rumour I've heard as well. And do you know who that is?
Go on.
He's the manager of Bristol City now, and he's the ex-Leicester City manager.
I wouldn't have Pearson anywhere near it.
Nigel Pearson.
I would have him nowhere near it.
No,
not for me. Not for me. The man's an ostrich.
I think the problem you've got with Pearson, just a sidetrack for a bit, is he has not replicated what he did at Leicester anywhere else he has been. Cheers, Kate. Cheers, thank you. He hasn't, because what he had at Leicester wasn't just him; it was the whole team that he had, and he's sort of that team split up. Shakespeare's now wherever. I think he's at Norwich with Dean Smith. And so it's all split up a little bit. So. It's like when Cloughy went to Leeds without Peter Taylor, it wasn't the same. Those two worked well together. And when Peter Taylor sadly passed away, he couldn't do it on his own, Brian Cloughy. It's the same with you're not with Nigel Pearson. You're not getting the the Leicester City promotion / survival manager, because he's not that team anymore.
No, that's true. That is true. As I say, I'd take Rooney over Kompany just because he's already in the English game.
Alan Pardew.
Or the guy at Bordeaux Glimt, Kjetil Knutsen. I think the job that he's done at Bordeaux Glimt is decent. So,
what a name.
On you, Knutsen. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think that's why Alan Pace has struggled getting an interim in, because it's 8 games of the season to go at the time. People, managers are going to be like, well, I don't want to come in there on an interim basis. And if I do, I want assurances of another contract the season after.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They'll want assurances, bonuses, etc. So there'll be a few managers eyeing up the Burnley job in the summer.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
he's made the right decision, but not bringing an interim manager in.
Yeah, I think he should give it. I think he should give it to MJ till the end of the season. However, and
I think he hasn't he? He's got it till the end of the season, hasn't he?
Well, yeah. Don't look any further than the man in the mirror, I say.
Yeah.
Even when it's you.
Hey, the man in the mirror, MJ. Do you see what I did there?
Yeah. I'm looking with the man in the mirror.
Oh yeah. David says, "Good luck to Kate. Blessings to you for those you do have." Yeah, there's 4. Well, there's 1 not currently in this house. Mine from a previous. Kate's got 2 from a previous, and we've got 1 together. So that's it. That is it. It's absolute mayhem. No more. Rennie says Rooney will stay with Derby in League One, which I understand because I think he's.
So I've just seen Kate's comment.
He's rooting for the takeover to happen. So we'll see what happens there.
Under new management.
Yeah, I agree with what Gordon says here. To be fair, we are founding members of the Football League, so it is crucial we survive, especially when I think it was it a year or 2 years today since the Super League came about, and there was an image that went round of them only getting told to pay, about 3.6 million each, yet you've got the likes of Darlington, Bury and everybody else that have been liquidated. It's just a sad state of affairs, but that's all in the past. Let's move forward. Let's look on. And as I say, safety is well within our grasp, Gordon. So let's keep positive and hope for the best. On to the next one then, and Wolves against Brighton. Anthony, this is another tough one. As you say, I was expecting a tougher game from Wolves when they came to Turf Moor. They gave us a good scare in the first 45 minutes, but after that they capitulated in the second half, and for a team that's trying to push for a European spot, they've sort of dropped off it a little in recent weeks.
Yeah, you're right there, Dan. They have dropped off in recent weeks, and obviously when when you beat them yourselves 1-0, it's like what I said, they come out and it's like what I said, they did have a good first half, and then I think it was just after the I think it ran about 60, maybe just over the 60-minute mark. They just took their foot off the pedal a little bit, didn't they, Wolves? And it just, they obviously because they didn't win the game, or they got nothing out of the game basically. But this one's going to be a good game, and it's going to be tough. I think it'd be tough for both sides. I mean, I already give a score prediction from this, and I didn't think Brad appreciated it that well. So, but I did say I don't know. I think Wolves are due a win. I mean, obviously, when teams are like they pick up points and draw here and there, and they're losing a few, I think they're due a win. So I'm going to go for a Wolves win on this one, Dan.
No, fair shout. I'd just like to say that as much as, revelations that apparently came to this channel said that I piss in a corner, Kate clearly likes to piss in furniture. She's gone for a drawer. So, each to their own. Each to their own. We'll both be stood in a cupboard at one point thinking whose piss is going to last the longest. But we will see. We will see. So what are you going for again, Anthony? What did you say? Sorry, pal.
I went for a Wolves win.
A Wolves win. Wolves win. Kate's got the giggles, which means she's extremely tired. She's got that way you just giggle your tits off and then all of a sudden, bang, gone. David says, I'm thinking it will be a draw. Brighton picking up their form and Wolves slightly running out of steam. Not a bad shout. Oh, my God. I'm dealing with a Neanderthal. Yes, Katie, he went for Wolves. Chris, just talk a little bit slower for old Katie over here. She's got a bit lost. Clearly, the draw she entered took her to Narnia, and she's not really come back. However, give us your thoughts on Wolves Brighton.
That this is going to be. I mean, Wolves have sort of fallen off the pace a little bit. You can see there with the graphic you've got up. They've not had well. You beat them 1-0. No, I'm not decrying that. But then Newcastle beat them 1-0. You know, they managed to beat Villa. Then Leeds beat them, you know, and they only managed to get one past Everton. So the form's not been great. It wasn't so long ago Brighton were bottom of the form table. And again, had they not had the start that they'd had, they may be in the relegation zone as well. I'm not a huge Brighton fan because I don't buy into all this Graham Potter is the next Messiah stuff that's coming out. But yeah, I've got to agree with Anthony. I think Wolves, it's at Wolves. I think they'll turn it round. I think the fact that you beat them last time out will be hurting, and they'll get the 3 points in this game.
No, fair enough. I'm with you. I'm with you too. I think Wolves will get this and see the job through. Brighton, for me, I think I predicted them. Look, when I was looking actually earlier, because I'm going to be doing a show at the end of the season, reviewing my predictions for who goes down. And I think I said Brighton as one of them, to be honest.
Wow.
So, you know, and I think don't quote me, but I think I might have said Palace and Southampton as well. So mine's completely gone to shit.
I was there for Palace, mate. I wasn't far off with Palace, I'll tell you.
No, we all even said that Vieira would probably be the first to go, but very interesting, very interesting. We will review that at the end of the season. But yeah, who did you go for?
Our predictions, doesn't it?
So yeah, Kate went for the draw, and the three lads have all gone for a Wolves win. Back to you, Anthony, and this is the later kickoff. Leeds against Manchester City. This, for me, is a game where you'd expect Man City to go absolute gung-ho and pummel Leeds for everything they've got. However, teams like Leeds at Ellen Road against Manchester City, crowd behind them, there's a good chance Leeds could potentially turn up in this fixture.
Yeah, there is a good chance. It makes you think. Sometimes you get the teams at the top of the division, like obviously Man United, and then Man City. Sorry, then they play against Leeds United. You predict a Man City win, and then for some reason there's like a bloody upset in the game, isn't there? You know, I think Leeds, can actually go on and maybe nick a point, or maybe score a goal at the end of the game and nick it either 1-0 or 2-1. So this is the chance that it might happen. But looking at both teams and how they play, and and all that, I think you'll have to edge Man City. I mean, you can't take anything away from Leeds United as in such, because they played Man United going back a few weeks ago, didn't they? And I think did Man United beat them on there? The scoreline would be on there. I think they did play well, Leeds United, but
well, you've only got to look at their last fixture that they played. They got beat 7-0 at the Etihad. So, I mean, who knows whether they'll be on for a tonking again? I mean, at that time they were under Bielsa.
Yeah.
This time, as well, Jesse March says he's not really changed much, but
yeah. But in this case, like, you'd have to favour Man City. I think it's going to be a bit of a. It should be a bit of a rout here. I think if you win for Man City, you expect the scoreline to be something like maybe 4-0 or 5-0. I don't think it'd be as many goals as what it is in the last game. So I think I'll have to go for a Man City win, because I've gone for a Liverpool win against Newcastle. I'll have to go for a Man City win as well.
No, fair enough. Chris, can you see another 7-0 repeat, or do you think there'll be a bit more fight from Leeds United, knowing where they are and what job they need to do to sort of get themselves away from it?
No, it's going to be Man City all the way. And end of story.
End of. Plain and simple. Or as Hearsay would have said, pure and simple. I'm with you. I think this is Man City all the way. I can't see Leeds getting anything from it. If they do, then it's just, that's football. That is football. But, yeah, Man City, hands down, take this one every day of the week. And I hope and pray it is another 7-0. I would take that in a month of Sundays because that would do wonders for the goal difference. On to the next one. Another interesting fixture down at the bottom end of the table. And this is a bit of a strange one, Anthony, isn't it? Because Chelsea, they're sort of, they're third, that's it. Chelsea are third. We might as well just write that as that's it. Everton, they don't look like a team that understand what a relegation fight is.
No. Trouble is though, with this game, you look at it, and when I see this game, Everton versus Chelsea, one name sticks into mind, and that's Frank Lampard. Now we know that Frank played for Chelsea, he managed Chelsea, and then he got sacked. Even though his still love and his passion for the club, and being the manager of Everton now, it makes you think, would he want to get one over Chelsea? Do you know what I'm saying? So, I think, to be honest with you, I don't think this game is going to have many goals in it, to be honest with you. I think Frank is going to go defensive with his tactics and most probably hit Chelsea on the break. But I feel with this game, with what they've got, I think this game could be a draw. I think it'd be a draw. It's going to be a surprise, this game, and I think Frank Lampard is going to come out of this game with a point. So that's what I'm going to predict there.
Oh, fair one. To be fair, Chris, Everton did give Liverpool a bit of a scare in that game. It took them till late on before the goals came. They've been screaming and ranting about, the fine margins in matches, penalties, etc., that they were trying to scream out for. But Everton, as you say, as Anthony said, could set up defensive, hoping that, Chelsea get on the front foot and it leaves them open and prone to attacks.
I wouldn't say Everton made Liverpool work for it. Everton just put 11 men behind the ball, and they were parking the bus. The only thing in Everton's favour is that they are better at home. They got a draw against Leicester, but then again, that's nothing this season. Anybody could do that. It's a hard one. I think there's two teams. There's two teams in this division that the players are just taking the money and not putting the effort in. Man United is one, and Everton is the other. Both of them, like you say, Man United players don't seem to think that they're going to get. They're in a battle for the top four. Everton don't think they're in a battle for relegation. Both sets of players should take a long, hard look at themselves and maybe give some money back to the poor, suffering fans that had to watch them all season. But that said, it's Chelsea. I fancy Chelsea. I mean, they're seventh in the division in the form table. They've won, lost, drawn. So on that basis, I've got to go for a win for Chelsea.
No, that's fair enough. I'm with you. I think Chelsea as well. And that's not just a head or heart moment, because obviously, we want Everton to lose. I just think Chelsea have been better away from home than at home. However, as you said, Everton are decent at home. They like to put up a bit of a fight. So yeah, I'm with you. I'm going to go for Chelsea as well in this one. Rene says, obviously, you to play Everton at home after Roma, which is a bit scary for us Burnley fans, because I think about it and think, if you're going to give your all against Roma, are you going to be blowing out your arse when it comes to the Everton game?
Because we make seven. Well, between I think it was the Everton game and then this Roma, we make on average 7 changes at the moment, and we're able to. And the team that performed so badly against Aston Villa was it was a good team. So maybe the midfield will be a little bit tired, but no, it'll be a completely different team that plays Everton, the one that will have played Roma in the second leg.
No, fair enough. Fair enough. So yeah, two
Don't
for
you
Chelsea.
worry. Don't you worry, young Dan. We'll do the best we can for you.
Yeah, can you also fly in one of those dodgy refs as well, please? For this one.
There's
For
plenty
this
of
one,
them.
at
There's
least.
plenty of them in the Premier League.
Well, John Moss is apparently retiring as well, and so there's three of them.
We've got him at the weekend. Can I just say
Oh.
something? Talking of Nick Pope, I have got to give a hats off to Alisson, the Liverpool goalkeeper. The shit buggery that he took on against Pickford when he got that ball and just dropped on it. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Loved it.
It was. Especially after Pickford's giving it all out, this winking malarkey and stuff like that. It's, sit down and shut up is all I say.
Yeah.
On to the next one then. And Chris, you know what? I'll come to you first since it's your team. Now, for you, I can see those devil horns wanting to poke through that hat. I can see the seething red flames in your eyes. You want revenge from these bastards that did you in the dying minutes, don't you?
I think we'll be singing this. It's Tottenham. They do it. We can't. They're our bogey team at the moment. We can't win, and when we lose, it's like 4-2 or 5-1. I'm not looking forward to this. Yeah, they did us in the last game, and I think we now hold the record for conceding two of the latest goals ever in the Premier League in the 95th and 97th minute. I just couldn't believe it. I'd left the telly and I was in here getting all the headlines and everything ready for Facebook and what have you, and I could hear this cheering going on. I thought, oh, we've got another one, or the game's over. I couldn't believe it when I went back in the room and we'd gone from 2-1 to 3-2 when it was 2-1 at 93 minutes. Only Leicester. I've got to say, is it heart or head? It will be a completely changed team from the team that played Roma. There'll be 7 changes, I think, 6 or 7 changes. If those players play like they did against Villa, it could be a cricket score. But my head says Tottenham, my heart says Leicester, but I'm never going to predict away from my team, and I'm going to go for a Leicester win.
A Leicester win. I thought you would, Chris. I
can't, and that's why I'm bottom of the prediction league on my website.
Rich Sports is in. Hope you're well, Rich. Thank you for tuning in as always. Rich says as well, draw. He thinks Arsenal are going to be getting top 4. So interesting there. And then he says, congrats on hitting 400 subs down. Well deserved, mate. Thank you very, very much indeed, Rich. Does mean a lot. So thank you so much for the sentiment. Anthony, how do you see this one? This is do you want to go up in Chris's estimation, or do you want to be seen as a Judas bastard by the Arsenal faithful?
He can't go down in my estimation, so he's only got one way to go.
Thanks, Chris.
Anytime, mate. Anytime.
Do you know what? When I was giving my last score predictions, I had to. Well, I was doing it on behalf of ex-Leicester City player Steve.
You were who hates Tottenham.
But trouble is, though, I mean, this is going to be an hard game. It's going to be a good game, but it's one of those that, to me, it can swing either way. You know, it can swing over. It can either. But to me, I've got like I could go for a Leicester win, but then I think it could be a draw. Do you know what? Being an Arsenal fan is how much I hate Tottenham as well. I just put me down for a Leicester win. I hope Leicester do it. I hope Vardy scores the winner. So There, I've said it.
I mean, thank you for that, mate. But I just, like I say, it's Spurs, and if I hadn't got a heart, I'd be going for a Spurs win myself, like Rene. But
Yeah.
I've got to go Leicester. But thank you, young
No,
man.
fair,
You have
fair
gone up
play.
a little bit. You have gone up a little bit in my estimation now.
I know I will. Thanks, Chris. Thanks,
Said,
mate.
is Kane injured? I'm not entirely sure, Chris. Do you know anything about that in terms of team news?
No, I hope he is. And no disrespect, I don't wish him harm, but I would like him to be injured. If not, I can get in the car, drive up to London, and kick him.
Chris, can you do us a favour? Could you actually tell us when was the last time Tottenham won a trophy?
Do you know? I almost have that at my fingertips, but not quite. But I can.
Go on then, Chris. Give us a daily Spurs.
Tottenham,
Good.
it's 14 years, 60 days, 4 hours, 38 minutes, and 35 seconds. As I did inform the Spurs fan that was on my show earlier.
Tottenham.
But then again, do you know how long it's been since Arsenal won the Premier League?
Oh, piss off.
17 years, 349 days, 5 hours, 23 minutes, and 58 seconds. So,
see, I knew I said that. So when I said that, me and Chris was talking about it, and then I thought to myself, he's going to bring that up on a stream. I knew he's going to bring it up on here, and then he'll bring it up. We'd have 3 things on his stream now. Last time Tottenham won a trophy, the last time Man United won the league, and then it'd be the next one. It'd be when Arsenal won a league. You'd have 3 of those things now on his stream.
I've got 3, depending what mood I'm in and who pissed me off. It's whichever one I play.
Well, I don't normally piss you off, Chris. You know that.
No, you don't. No, in fairness, Anthony, you are one of the few Arsenal fans who are sensible and have got your feet on the ground and know what you're talking about.
Oh,
I've
thanks,
heard he's got
mate.
his feet up on sofa.
No, you know what I mean. You're not one of these like we should be doing this because of who we are sort of thing. Yeah. I didn't used to bother about Arsenal. I've got to be honest with you. They didn't really bother me at all until last summer when it was all we're getting Maddison because we're Arsenal.
I knew we weren't going to get him.
No,
we
finished 5th. You finished 8th. You weren't even in Europe. Yeah, he's going to come to you. And all the Arsenal fans were having orgasms about the fact that Maddison was going to do it. He was showing pictures of him wearing red and everything. And it turns out he hadn't even spoken to Arsenal. So
no. There is,
but you're not. As I say, you are one of the nice ones. There's not many, but you are one of them.
There is talks about Arsenal maybe going in for Maddison again for next season, but do you know what? I can't see it, to be honest with you, Chris, because the position that Maddison plays in that cam is the 2 players we've got, which is already fulfilled there, which is done by Smith Rowe and that Odegaard. So they'll have to sacrifice one to bring him in. So do you know what I mean? And they won't do that because Maddison's such a good player and he'll cost too much.
Yeah, and I mean, there's lots of rumours about whether we will sell him to raise cash to sort of redo the squad and reinvent the squad. I mean, the other rumour is that Tielemans is coming to either you or Manchester United, and again, I'm not being awful. He's probably better than either of those 2 teams at the moment. He's better than Leicester. I'm not saying that we're better than that. He could probably walk into a Barcelona or Real Madrid side at the moment. He wants Champions League football. That's why he's hanging on to the end of the season to see who's in those Champions League places. If you finish 4th and you're in the Champions League, you've got as much chance of signing him as anybody else has. And same with Man United, But if you don't finish in the Champions League, he will get offers, I think, from Champions League clubs, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I can't see Man United. No disrespect to Rich. I know he's watching and he said Arsenal could finish 4th. And, thanks for that, Rich. But, I mean, you look at Man United, what they're doing now under that manager, that Ragnick, I don't think the players respect him. I don't think they understand his tactics and his philosophy. Do you know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
think the players those United players are struggling with that, and it proves on the pitch. I mean, for they got to be thankful they signed Ronaldo because he's joined is it second leading goal scorer in the Premier League this season. And to be honest with you, at the age of 37, I think that's fantastic. Do you know what I mean? So,
Sorry, carry on, mate.
But yeah, I think I think if it weren't for Ronaldo, I gotta be honest with you, I think Man United would most probably be I think they would have been 12 in the table. Personally, I do.
Yeah. Do you remember, Dan, when I said to Mike about Ronaldo's charity work?
Yes.
Like I say, I've nothing. I mean, I have nothing but respect for Man United for what they achieved under Alex Ferguson. But that was what Alex Ferguson did, not what Manchester United did. If you look at Manchester United post Busby as manager and pre Fergie, they were just another team. No disrespect, but like Southampton or Arsenal are at the moment. They had all that success, and they deserved it. And Ferguson was a brilliant manager, and they were probably the best team in Europe for many, many, many years. I honestly think that Fergie dropped them in. He knew that team was coming to an end, and he got out at the right time. But they're trying too hard to get that success back. Liverpool were like Man United were before Man United. They were the biggest team in Europe, and Man United would go out and buy players just because there were names and to stop anybody else getting them. And they didn't have a team; they just had a team of individuals. It took Liverpool 30 years to get back to winning the trophy again. And Arsenal and Man United, it could be the same for you two as well.
It could be, yeah.
But I think the Man United players, and I'm sorry, we were talking, Dan, sorry, Leicester Tottenham, but I think the Man United players have got to take a hell of a lot of responsibility, as do the owners, for the way, again, that they're running the club.
No, it's a fair shout. It's a fair shout. And as you say, going back to Anthony's point, Ralph Rangnick, is he going to get a tune out of Austria? That's a big question. That's a big question. But we will touch on Man United in coming fixtures. You know what, sod it. I'm going to go. I need the points. I'm going Spurs. I need the points.
Hey, you're allowed to, mate. You're allowed to. It's all about opinions.
You know me, Chris. I want to see Leicester do well. I'd love to see Leicester win it, but for the fact that the realism in me wants to say that Spurs will probably do something, because I think Leicester will want to reserve the energy for Roma.
Yeah. If I wasn't a Leicester fan, I would be going for Tottenham for this. So it's realism. It's realism, but I will never predict against my team. But yeah, I get totally where you're coming from.
No worries, mate. No worries. Rene says Ronaldo could move to City instead of United. I don't think, but United made the mistake by signing CR7. I think they only did it because he was linked with Manchester City, in my opinion. But anyway, as I say, we'll talk about United probably now. No, we're not. We're going to talk about Anthony's second team, which is Arsenal, and they're away at the Hammers. Another interesting one. West Ham probably want to, they always have a bit of a hangover after European games. But to be honest, they were on home soil, so it won't have bit them too hard. Arsenal again, still vying for top four. Anthony, let us know your thoughts.
Do you know what? When I look at this game, Dan, to be honest with you, I don't think it's going to be a walk in the park. It's definitely not going to be a walk in the park. I would favour Arsenal over West Ham, but trouble is though I've always noticed when we play against West Ham, they in the first half they always seem a team that's always up for it, and they get slightly more possession than us in the first half. It was in the last game that we played against them, and there were certain spells of that game, in that first game. It was what we call squeaky bum time, and it was, But I mean, obviously West Ham being home, they're going to have home advantage. The last game we played, obviously we beat Manchester United 3-1. I'm not too sure if he's injured, but Saka come off I think it was like the last 10 minutes of the game, because he picked up a knock in his knee or something wrong with his knee. I don't know if Chris can look it up and see if Saka could be if he's actually playing in that game, but is going to be an hard one. But I think I most probably would go for an Arsenal win, but I can see it by a goal. So for me, I would say an Arsenal win, but if I had to predict a score with that win, I think it'd be something like 2-1 to Arsenal.
I'm going to say the game on in the middle of April, the Southampton Arsenal game. Either way, you were going out and celebrating, weren't you? Whoever won.
I am happy cap, yeah.
So you're going Arsenal, you're backing your side to win this one.
I'm going to back my team, yeah, and I'm going to say Arsenal win. But it'll only be by the goal, though, Dan. It'd be something like 2-1.
No, fair enough. Chris, how do you see it? I quite like West Ham. I just, another team that have been surprising this season. I thought West Ham were going to be a bit like us. When we had a little European venture that with the size of their squad, it's going to be a little bit too much for them. However, it hasn't. It's not been a bad season for them. It has hindered them a little, but I think for me, they want to push. I think, basically their bread and butter this season now is to try and go and win that Europa League trophy for Mark Noble.
Yeah, I mean, just to reply to Anthony Saka, it looks like he's 100% okay to come back. His potential return is the 1st of May. So, it looks like he could be coming back. I did a show with West Ham fan. I will say hello to Richard. I don't know if he's still in. He was in earlier. At the start of the season, and they were comparing their West Ham side to the Leicester side that won the Premier League. And when the season got going and we were having such an awful start, West Ham were flying. And I thought, go on, West Ham. Like I said earlier, I want one team, whether it's West Ham, Newcastle, Wolves, to go in there and get into that top 6 and shake it up a little bit. The wheels come off the wagon with West Ham. Nobody seems to want that top 4. I couldn't believe that they lost in midweek. I really thought that they're going to go all the way in the Europa. Now I know it's only half time, but they conceded a goal. I think it's probably the fastest goal ever in the Europa League. I think less than a minute and a half, and
50
they
seconds.
came back. And then they conceded, obviously, again. So that, and I say they haven't got that big a squad either. Now, they haven't actually been, like you say, travelling. They were playing at home that game. They're now got to thinking about going away and, and trying to get back from being 2-1 down. But it's how it's affected them psychologically.
Mm.
Everything was going well. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's still not a bad season for them, especially as I predict them to be back down in about 16th again. So they're not having a bad season at all. But on the form, on the current form, Arsenal, you're in 11th on the current form on the last 6 games. West Ham are in 15th. I actually said about 5 weeks ago that 4th place was Arsenal's to lose. I didn't think you'd take me so seriously and do that. And I don't think you'll get 4th now, unfortunately. But I just don't know which Arsenal's turning up. You know, you had an absolutely awful start to the season. Then Arteta had the advantage of, you know, not being in Europe and playing those games. And it does help. It helped us when we won it. But I just don't know which Arsenal's going to turn up. You know, you've won, then lost, won. It's just a weird season for so many teams. And I can't split you. I cannot split you. And as much as I like you, Anthony, I'm sorry, but I've got to go for a draw for this one.
No, that's all right. I just hope that you beat Tottenham. That's all. And if it means us drawing against West Ham, picking up a point, listen, I'd rather pick up a point at this stage than lose a point.
Yeah.
So, do you know what I
I'd
mean?
rather pick up a penguin. I'm fucking starving.
Yeah.
I thought you'd picked up chlamydia, but there we go.
Oh God. Oh God. Oh.
Doctor said it was just gout.
That's painful.
Doug's in the chat. Doug says, "Good evening, all." So
Right,
hope you're well, Doug. Thank you very much for tuning in. And again, thank you very much for the sentiment. Congrats on 400 subs again. Thank you very much indeed. Kate said that's because you don't know how to cook. Don't look at me, Daniel. I've always been clean. Fair enough. Yeah, I'm going to go for Arsenal. I think Arsenal will win this. I think West Ham have got so much focus and drive for that Europa League push that nobody, you know, no matter what happens, I think this is a game that they'll be like, right, you know, I want to be involved in that next game. So do I want to play well? Yes. But do I want to play well at the risk of getting myself crocked and not giving myself a chance at trying to win silverware for West Ham?
Yeah.
So, yeah, for that reason only, I'm going to go for Arsenal. And with you, Anthony, I'll say Arsenal nick this. However, Chris, you know, the fountain of knowledge, you know, you are top of the leaderboard. Maybe that's for a reason.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, with West Ham, obviously, like, you know, because it's only half time in Europe. I mean, let's be honest.
Sorry, Andy, it's because Kate went, I'm top as well.
I thought you were being rather generous and not mentioning her.
Yeah. But to be honest with you, it's like they can do it. So if anybody could beat a good Frankfurter, it'd be West Ham. Let's be honest.
No, that is true. That is true.
I think with West Ham as well, I mean, if they don't beat Frankfurt in the next round and then they're out of the Europa, because I mean, if they win that, obviously they get into the Champions League. But if they don't, I mean, they're in 7th at the moment. They have played a game more than Wolves, but the 3 points difference there. I just think they've still got to keep themselves in those that top 7 for your European place. And yes, they've got theirs is a bit more trickier than ours because they're still fighting for Europe. We're not really, not sort of in the league. They've got to come back from 2-1 down. We're 1-1. They've got to go at Frankfurt in Frankfurt. You know, we can allow Roma. They've got to come at us because it's at Roma. So West Ham have still got to concentrate on the league a little bit. They've got to keep one eye on that because if they don't beat Frankfurt, they've got to qualify for Europe through the league.
Yeah. Fair play. Rene's on one tonight. Been on the opium. West Ham should be 150 million or 200 million. I mean, Chris, do you echo that, or do you think?
No, he's not worth that much. Let's be honest with you. It is, you know, if Harry Maguire's worth 80, and Harry Maguire was a good player when he left us, he was in the England team. He'd scored at the World Cup. You know, he was a good defender. Unfortunately, no disrespect to Man United, you know, he's lost it all there, obviously. They paid 80 million for him, so they must have thought he was good, and he was. Like I say, he was good. Fofana is excellent. You know, he's obviously younger. No, not 100 million. No, he's just signed a new contract, but I'd probably say he's certainly up there with Maguire at sort of 80 million.
Yeah, I mean, he's got age on his side as well, hasn't he? So
Yeah. I'd like
It
to
is.
say that. We say 80 million, Man United will probably come in and offer us 200 million.
True. Connor's in. Connor, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever
Good day.
you bloody are. Hope you are well, mate. Thank you for coming in. Not spoke to you for a while, so glad to see you in the chat. The Clarets are staying up. I said the Clarets are staying up. Yeah. Yes, you did. Fair shout. You know what? I'm glad we are, mate. I really am glad we are. And maybe that means that next season you'll have another chance to buy a Burnley shirt. Who knows? Who knows? Since the last one didn't arrive through customs.
Can you not just buy a claret and blue one and then buy 3 badges?
Yeah, just stick a Velcro pad there whenever you want to change it.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not?
Or a Southampton one if you want to, you know.
No, that's true. The last game to predict is Manchester United Brentford. Now, Anthony, back to you for this one. Man United, again, another team hit and miss. Brentford, at the business end, when it matters, have started to put some form together.
Yeah, they have. Yeah. I got to be honest with you, Dan. Could Manchester United win this game? No, do you know what? I don't think they can win it. I'll be honest with you, I don't think they can. Because, I mean, Brentford has been, they've been on recent, on good form of recent. I got to be honest with you, since Christian Eriksen has come into that squad in January, I think he's helped to the team, he's helped out brilliantly, obviously, despite what happened to him in the Euro. But, it's nice. Once again. Reminds me, he's a good goal assistant, for the Ivan Toney, up front, because obviously he's scoring of late as well, isn't he? So, I think Ivan Toney, he's got about, 14? Is it about 14 goals this season? Maybe 15? It's somewhere around about there anyway. But I think to myself, with Eriksen coming in, because the way how Eriksen played for Tottenham, I think that was how Harry Kane got his goals, was when Eriksen kept assisting him, how Kane got his goals. I think he can roughly do the same for Ivan Toney, but it's a shame he's just alone. I mean, it'd be nice if Brentford could actually snap him up for next season, because that would be the sort of player that they would need in that squad for next season, Brentford. So, technically, do you know what? I'm not going to go for a Man United win. I'm going to go for... Do you know what? Sorry, I'm going to go for a Brentford win. I was going to say a draw, but I'm going to go for a Brentford win. Because I still don't think they can play properly under Rangnick's tactics.
Yeah, plus he'll have had his head turned as well. We all, with the new job at Austria, I think he's going to take on more than what he's got, because Manchester United behind the scenes is a big rebuild job. So he's got that on his plate, as well as obviously trying to sort Austria out.
It is, yeah. I think Manchester United, they have got a bit of some money to spend next season. I mean, the players that they actually signed, I mean, you can understand why they've done it in one way. Some of the players that they signed, they actually did it for revenue, like on shirt sales, like names of Cavani, Ronaldo, and all this and that. So that's probably
what Louis van Gaal said, didn't he? He said that Manchester United is literally a commercial-driven club. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Man United now, it's not. The money's not there for Manchester United if it's not, commercially successful, pretty much. And that just goes to show you, how time flies. And, Man United have had the heyday, maybe that's what we're looking at. And they're just living on a whim now. But who knows?
Right, yeah.
Who knows? Doug's
I
come
think
in
they're
and said,
going-
if Meghan and Harry's son is not being called a prince, does that mean the royal family have had an haircut? Come on, Chris, press the button.
I didn't even think it deserved one of them. That's your worst ever one, Doug.
Go on, what were you saying? Sorry, Anthony, as well.
I can't really remember now. I can't remember. It was just something that I was going to say. Like, it's just with Ragnick. They can't play. Can't do his tactics and things like this and that. I mean, their performances on the pitch has been shocking. I mean, okay, when their last game they played against Arsenal, to be honest with you, I think Man United dominated most of that second half. But I mean, you look at this stupid penalty take, what Bruno Fernandes, when he took that penalty, he missed it and he hit the post. So I feel that there's something there. But Ten Hag has definitely got a lot of work to do next season. I think they're on about bringing in Project Youth. A few players from the reserves coming in. But I don't know if he's going to be given a reasonable budget to spend. I think rumor has it that Cristiano Ronaldo is not even in his plans. So
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. So you're going Brentford to win this one, did you say?
I'm going to go Brentford to win this one, Dan. Yeah.
Fair play. Fair play. Chris, your love for Manchester United just shines through your beating chest. You can see it. However, you've said as well, that Brentford, you wanted them to stay up, you wanted to see them make a success of it, and so far so good.
Yeah, and I think it's. I was talking to a Tottenham fan earlier, and obviously on my show because we're playing them tomorrow.
I can't believe he admits to calling himself one of them.
And he was saying like, we might be getting Eriksen back at the end of the season. I really hope not. I really, really hope Eriksen signs a deal and stays at Brentford, because Spurs couldn't give an arse about Eriksen when he was coming before. They ran from him, and yet Brentford have taken the chance now. Tottenham think they were this great big club and we're just going to go and pinch him and he'll come running back. I hope he sticks two fingers up to them and says, no, I'm going to stick with Brentford. Thank you very much. I like Brentford.
About the hand that feeds you, isn't it?
Yeah, I like Brentford. I like these clubs that come up and actually make a go of it, unlike Norwich and Watford. And I hope that they stay up for a few years. And let's face it, Man United are a joke, aren't they? They are a complete and utter joke. They're there with Everton, but I think they're worse than Everton. I think the way they have fallen down, this was, like I said earlier, a club that was the best and biggest club in Europe when Fergie was there. Nothing before that, really, apart from, let's say, after Busby. But they absolutely are just a joke. The fact that, and this is what gets me, is that the fans think they're still a good team. The fans think that they should be challenging for, top four and titles. No, you shouldn't. And clubs, again, no disrespect, Anthony, clubs like Arsenal and Man United, you've got to accept you've had your day. It will come back again at some point, but you can't just expect it to come back straight away. Look how long Liverpool were waiting. And at the moment, it's Liverpool and Man City, I think, that are taking that mantle on. But yeah, you're talking about a team here that sacked a manager. Well, they took a manager on from, the only experience in the Premier League was to take Cardiff down. They put him on a temporary contract. And would you ever have heard of Man United putting a manager on a temporary contract? No, but they did. Before that temporary contract was up, they gave him the job. I mean, again, what business does that? You wait until that temporary contract is finished, and then you've got an option about whether you want to keep him, because as soon as he signed a permanent contract, it all went tits up. They then got rid of him because they didn't think he was doing a very good job, although he got them to second and fourth for seasons, but that wasn't good enough for the almighty Man United that think that they should be winning everything. And they sacked him. And who did they get in? Well, they couldn't get a manager. I mean, the manager should be walking barefoot over broken glass to manage that club. And they had to go and get somebody who wasn't a manager as a temporary manager until the end of the season. And they've now gone, all right, they've got a good manager coming in now, but that guy that's supposed to be, as Anthony said, rebuilding this club from the base up, and it needs rebuilding. It absolutely is in the shithole at the moment, and it's a 5, 6, 7 year contract that they're going to have to sort out to sort that club out. And they said, oh yeah, you can go off and manage Austria at the same time. So they've got a part-time general manager. How low can Manchester United sink? And people say to me, like, oh, you know, you and Mike said it, you know, oh, you're always going on about Man United. No, because they're so funny. They're so funny. It's like it's an easiest thing to do is to have a go at Man United because it's just a simple, easy target. They are nothing now, no more than an Arsenal, Tottenham, that sort of a top 6 club, but it's embarrassing how far they have fallen. You know, we haven't, you know, we're not a big club, so we can't say that, you know, we've fallen. Because we've never been a proper top 6 club in everybody's eyes. But Man United, I just find it embarrassing. And I, you know, like that Mark Goldbridge, when you watch him, you know, he was disgusted that Burnley scored against you. Well, they're allowed to. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, the fans. I mean, yeah, there's some decent fans, of course there is. But, you know, we had that discussion on Brad's A Matter of Opinion podcast, who had the most disillusional fans. And I'd done a poll on my Twitter, and Man United won it, hands down. It's a shame for Man United because they deserve better. You know, the Glaziers it is the Glazers that are ruining that club. They've got nobody in there with a footballing brain that knows how to run that club. And this is going to be a Brentford win. Chris Varian, News at 10, Dorset.
I like how me and Chris has gone for the win.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might wonder. I'm
to
going
be
for
fair,
Brentford
Kate's
win,
done the
just in
same.
case you were wondering.
Kate's gone for Brentford as well. You know what? I'm going to call it a draw.
Yeah, I could. Yeah.
I'm just going to call it a draw just because Brentford are safe. Manchester United, well, even if they do try fighting for something, it's not going to change anything.
They couldn't fight their way out of a paper bag at the moment, let's be honest.
And even that's a bit more wet.
I mean, you look at the players that they got there. You put every player down on paper, and that team should be in 3rd place, but still roughly trying to fight out for the Premier League.
Yeah,
technically. Yeah, but no.
See, I don't think, because I said at the start of the season that if this club, Man United, didn't win anything this season, then Solskjaer would have to go. And obviously he went before the season ended.
Yeah.
But surely when you sack a manager, you should have somebody in mind. But the person that they thought of was, you know, not available, but obviously he's signed now. But the person that you replace that person you've sacked with should be able to do a better job than the person you've sacked.
Yeah. But trouble is, Chris, the way Man United are playing in the minute, I think they were better off keeping Ollie.
Yeah, they're worse off than Ollie.
You know?
Do you know where Man United are in the form table? Man United are 16th.
Really?
Yeah, they're 16th in the form table. On the last 8 games, they've got 5 points. Everton are above them. Brighton are above them. Palace, Arsenal, Leicester, Wolves, Burnley, Chelsea, Leeds are all above Man United in the form chart for the last 6 games.
Exactly.
you have a look here and just see if I can bring any more information up. Their overall win percentage is 43%. I mean, like
That's
you said,
rubbish for Man
said,
United.
Anthony, totally, they should have kept Ollie on at least till the end of the season.
Yeah.
He
Makes
All I
more
got
want to
them a
say
second, he
is,
got them a fourth, but
yeah,
you
all
know.
I want to say is, Dan, it's not too late to change your draw, mate. If you want to change it to a Brentford win, it's understandable.
Come on over to our side, Dan. Come on.
You know you want
to.
I do want to. I do want to. However, I just for some reason can see Man United giving Brentford a game.
Well, let's say they wouldn't have beaten Norwich if it hadn't been for Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. And like you said, Anthony, they've got a team of players. They haven't got a team.
Yeah.
And it's no good, throwing money at it and paying 80 million for Maguire and getting. I don't think Solskjaer wanted Ronaldo. I think he was forced to have him because you've got, the Grim Reaper sat in the stands every week and Alex Ferguson and looking down at you. That must be horrible. And I think it's because they were
Chris,
scared that
it's
he was
like
going
you
to
just
go
said
to Man
there.
City.
It's like you just said there, Chris, that there is no team.
No.
And it wouldn't surprise me if that's what United players say. Someone in youth system that gets to train with first team one week. Like, pass me the ball, there's no I in team. Well, it won't surprise me if one of them turns around and goes, yeah, but there's a me in that fucker. So, it doesn't surprise me at all with Manchester United. They just, as Rene said, it's a banter club. They've made mistakes with some of the signings, thinking that it's just going to bail them out the shit, and it's not. End of the day, they've had their heyday, as you mentioned, and they should just, live with it. Deal with what you've got, And as you said, it's a 5 or 6 year rebuild. Yeah. That's just what it's going to be, and United fans need to accept that. But we all know we could sit here and literally say it from now till the cows come home. Till we could be sat all in our caskets in God knows how many years, still going on about it. And United fans' perceptions will not change.
It's all right having investment from these rich foreign owners, and you've got to say for Chelsea. I mean, Abramovich was not a bad owner. Yeah, he went through the managers, but he kept winning things and what have you, and he was at the games to watch them when he could be. But look at Arsenal. And I put the Arsenal in this bracket as well as Man United. There's no point having rich owners when the rich owners don't have a fucking clue what they're doing.
No, that is true. Yeah. That is true. On the basis of seeing Anthony's dick fingers, we'll call it there. We'll call it there for tonight. It's been a blast. That were the predictions for match week 35, and great input by the fellas. So thank you very much for coming on. As I say, it does mean a lot. Yeah, I agree. Everybody in the chat, it's been absolutely amazing. Thank you very much for all your comments. I'll have a look at these last few. Ryan's been in. He says that, they've become a laughing stock. The club is rotten from top to bottom. Rene says United is a clown club. Ryan again, the way the club is run is totally wrong. Even the stadium is falling apart and the owners aren't bothered. And Rene pretty much agrees with all that. As I say, we could go on till the cows come home about Manchester United. But
I could see, just very quickly, and Rene, thanks for agreeing with what I was saying, but I could see Man United doing a Leeds United if they're not careful.
Time will tell, Chris. Time will tell.
Time will tell, yeah.
Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure, as always. Everyone in the chat, Rene, Ryan, Doug, everybody that tuned in, it has been a blast, as always. Anthony, please do shout out where people can find you, your stuff, and who you support.
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at my name at Anthony Herbert. You can also find me on SVT TV. You can find me on Football United TV, Dugout Daily. You can also find me on Leicester Till I Die, depending if when Chris wants me on. And hopefully, you can find me on this one again, because to be honest with you, this is my first
Definitely.
time, and it's been a blast. So I've totally enjoyed it. So if I can
Chris might
survive,
have took your virginity, Anthony. He might have took your virginity, but I'll tell you what, I'll give you a good ride for an hour and 45. I'm a stallion, baby.
Kate,
So-
when has he ever made it last that long? Come on,
anyway,
tell us.
if I can survive a Leicester fan and a Burnley fan, I can survive anything.
Oh, says the Arsenal
But
fan.
yeah, make sure you click and like and subscribe to the Dan's channel. He's got 400 subscribers, but let's get him on 5.
Oh, cheers. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I think Kate doesn't need to hiss anymore. There's 3 snakes there. That's basically what she's put. However, she's playing Cinderella now because she knocked a brew over. So, karma's a bitch. And then you marry one. Guys.
I thought she was called Kate, not Karma.
Whatever I can get away
how's your
with.
wife farting, Anthony? Is she sat there?
Who?
Anthony's wife. She has a slight wind problem, doesn't she?
Very. Oh, terrible. Oh,
You have me thinking then. I'm sure it was you. I thought, have I said this to the wrong person?
You could have just played along there and gone, no, I don't know what you're on about, you senile old beggar. What you're on about?
It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. She's worse than a dog. And my dog has been sat down here, and not once have I heard it drop one yet.
Anthony, thank you very much for coming on. As I say, please do go check out Anthony's socials. His Twitter handle is in the description, so do go check him out. Absolutely amazing guy, and I'm sure we'll be on again, no doubt about it. Chris, as always, it's been a pleasure for you. Where can people find your stuff?
The biggest disappointment about you not getting relegated is that you're going to be doing shows again next season. If you'd gone down, we could have palmed you off onto Blackburn and Charlton and all those teams. Leicester Till I Die TV on YouTube. Please get over and sub it. Leicester Till I Die Facebook at Leicester TID, Twitter, and Leicester Till I Die 1 on Instagram. But like Anthony said, I've got to echo what he said. Make sure Dan is a great guy. Pain in the arse, if I'm honest with you. But some of the time, for the sake of viewers, he's a great guy. Go and give him some support. He'll always wear it. And make sure you sub to this channel as well.
Yeah.
Cheers. Thank you very, very much. You know what, guys? It's been, as I say, it has been a blast. Thank you very much for giving us your insight. In fact, let me just do something one moment. My audio has gone because my sister has tried to video call me. So,
bloody sisters, eh?
Fingers crossed there's no bad news to tell. However, it'll probably be something to note. This is my sister by all accounts. But thanks again to everyone in the chat. Hope you enjoy your weekend. It is coming up to 11 o'clock, not far off now. So I'll give you your, I'll let you head off, go and watch the 10-minute previews and get yourself off to bed. So take care, stay safe. And as Chris would say, don't do anything he wouldn't do. And I only say that because his options are quite broadened. Thanks again, gents. Thanks everyone in the chat. Have a good weekend.
Dan.
And
all the best, Anthony.
All the best. Take it easy.
Cheers, Chris. Cheers, Dan.